Warriors, to say that things are planned out is an understatement. This has been happening for year after year after year, and it's happened in history over and over again. As we say, history does not repeat itself, it just rhymes. Human behavior says that those who control the money, control the media, can control the attention. And as I keep saying, as you're looking at a pandemic this way, there's a whole nother narrative happening this way. Now, it seems like in your paradigm or in your physical reality right now that this is happening all in this moment. But I'm going to walk you through some step-by-step processes and things that have happened since 1971 and hopefully start to open up your eyes and awareness so that you can start fishing. Because if you know the game, you can be played. And there's players within the game that are making big moves within our economy. And this has been happening for a long time. So if you think cryptocurrency just showed up on the marketplace just this year, you might want to take a look at this video. You might want to make it all the way through. Now, what I'm asking you to do is not to believe a word I say. Isn't that weird to say that? I'm asking you to question everything I'm saying. I'm asking you to comment down below and prove me wrong. What that tells me is that you're actually learning how to fish. That you're not just believing a narrative and you're doing research to find out what resonates with you. Now, I teach my warriors how to fish. I don't want them to look up to me or follow what I'm saying. What I'm asking them to do is to do their own research and then make good, sound financial decisions, spiritual decisions, and decisions that are going to help their family build generational wealth. So my name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. I'm the host of the Coach JV podcast, one of the top motivation podcasts, book author, warrior coach of a warrior academy here in Arizona and globally, 9 different countries and over 260 warriors, where we help people manage into the quantum financial system, high intensity training, meditation, and breathing. Well, let's get right into it, warriors. So the journey that I'm going to take you on today, so hopefully we can keep your interest, because we know the attention span of human beings is about 5 seconds now, and the elites understand that. So this is actually practice for you to train your brain to pay attention, warriors. Because as you watch this video, the average watch time of our videos is 6 minutes. So what that tells me is people are only making it 6 minutes into the video and then boom, something's distracting them. That's by design, warriors. You have to practice the subconscious mind programming to be able to hold on to information long enough so it becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind, so that becomes an unconscious activity. It's called predictive programming. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm selling you a narrative, just like the elites are selling you a narrative. So the question is, which narrative is going to benefit you, your family, and what will help you protect yourself as we move into the biggest economic crash in history, with our GDP being worse than the Great Depression, helicopter money coming out of the sky, interest rates at historical low, and cash collapsing as we speak. Okay, so now I'm going to break down the World Economic Forum. Okay, so the World Economic Forum was created in 1971 by a gentleman named Klaus. And I'm going to break down, Klaus is a big player in the game that you want to learn and understand. So I'm going to show you 1971 and some key factors that happened in 1971. And I'm going to show you what happened to the productivity of humans in America and how much our pay went up. And I want you to start to frame and shape this. Now, I believe the whole cryptocurrency and the digital quantum financial system started a long time ago. I'm going to show you something in 1996. I'm going to show you when Bitcoin was created, and I'm going to tell you where we are heading. So the World Economic Forum is an important society or organization that you should understand. So the World Economic Forum, known as the WEF, is based in Colony, Geneva, in Switzerland. In the international NGO. Founded in 1971, the WEF's mission is stated: commitment to improving the state of the world by engaging business, politics, academia, and other leaders in society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. The WEF key agenda. The WEF hosts an annual meeting at the end of January in Davos, a mountain resort in, I can't even pronounce that word, in Eastern Alps region of Switzerland. The meeting brings together 3,000 business leaders, international political leaders, economists, celebrities, journalists, and up to 5-day discussion on global issues across 500 sessions. The organization also convenes some 6 times regional meetings each year in the location across Africa, East Asia, Latin America, and India. holds 2 further annual meetings in China, United Arab Emirates. Besides the meetings, the organization provides a platform for leaders, all stakeholder groups around the world, business, government, and civil societies to collaborate on multiple projects and initiatives. It also produces a series of reports and engages its members in the sector-specific initiatives. The World Economic Forum, as its annual meeting in Davos, are criticized regarding the public cost of security, the formation of the wealthy global elites without attachment to broader societies, undemocratic decision processes, gender issues, and lack of financial transparency. Okay? The WEF was founded in 1971. Key player you should understand is Klaus Schwab, a business professor from the University of Geneva, first named the European Management Forum. It changed its name to the World Economic Forum in 1987 and sought to broaden its vision to include providing a platform to resolve international conflicts. Now, I'm not going to go, I can take you deep into the Klaus, I can take you deep into the connections. It's just important for you to understand who the World Economic Forum is. Now, this is 1971, okay? So some key factors happened. In the summer of 1971, Schwab invited 444 executives from Western Europe, firms, and First European Management Synopsis, and held in the Davos Center under the patronage of the European Commission and the Industry Association, where Schwab sought to introduce European firms to American management practices. Okay, so 1971, key player is Klaus Schwab. So in 1971, once the World Economic Forum was enacted, is there a connection here? You'll have to do your research. Nixon ended the convertibility of the US dollar to gold and announced the wage price controls. In August 1971, the same year, with inflation on the rise and gold run looming, President Richard Nixon's team enacted a plan to end the dollar convertibility to gold and implemented wage price controls, which soon brought the end to the Bretton Woods system. Now, you keep hearing we're wanting to go back to a Bretton Woods standard. President Nixon's action in 1971 to end the dollar convertibility to gold and implement wage price controls were intended to address the international dilemma of looming gold run and a domestic problem of inflation. What are we experiencing right now? The new economic policy marked the beginning of the end of the Bretton Woods international monetary system and temporarily halted inflation. Okay, so that was in 1971. So now let's take a look at what happened from 1947 to 1979, which is a great prosperity. Okay, so pay rose with productivity. This is important to understand, warriors. So wages and overall compensation for products and non-supervisory workers, now about 82% of the private work sector force, track steadily upward alongside the gains in productivity. The rising value of goods and services per worker meant rising pay, but that relationship ended in the 1970s. So in 1971, we detached from the gold standard. Check this out. The Great Recession from 1980 to now. So since 1971, since we detached from the gold standard, right here, look what has happened. Your productivity as a human in America has increased dramatically, and this is globally too. Your productivity, you put in a lot more work, warriors, and guess what happened? What is this gap right here to compensation levels? The compensation levels stayed flat. The hourly wages stayed flat. But your productivity went through the roof. And so what they're saying is they're packaging this great deal to bring the world back together to end the disparity between the rich and the poor. But think about this, warriors. Think about this for just a moment. Since they detached, the World Economic Forum was created. 1971, we detached from the gold standard. You worked a lot harder, but you didn't get paid more. This is called the wealth gap. The rich got richer, and the poor got a lot poorer. This became a printing money machine right here. Now the environment that we're in, let's go back to 2008, okay? 2000, September 11th, right? 2001, September 11th, we had the Twin Towers, right? So that brought in a lot of security and monitoring. So the system started to change, okay? Then we had the crash in 2008. Well, ironically, let's back up just a moment, just a little bit. In 2008, Bitcoin was created in 2009. But let's go back to 1996. So you think that cryptocurrency just came on the scene? right now, and you're hearing PayPal implementing Bitcoin. You're hearing all the billionaires are moving their assets into Bitcoin. Guys, everything's been planned out slowly and methodically. This is from March 10th, 1996. So time lock puzzles and time release crypto. Ronald L. Vist and David Wright Wagner, revised on March 10th, 1996. This is MIT, and MIT has heavy connections to Klaus and around the globe and elites. MIT Laboratory for Computer Science, 545 Technology Square, Cambridge, Mass. 02139. Okay? Introduction. Our motivation in this notion of time release crypto, this is 1996, guys. I was 2 years out of high school in the military, where the goal is to encrypt a message that it cannot be decrypted to anyone, not even the sender, until a predetermined amount of time has passed. The goal is to send information into the future. This problem was first discussed by Timothy in May 6. What are the applications of time release crypto? Here's a few possibilities. Some do in May. A bidder in an auction wants to seal his bid so that it can only be opened after the bidding period is closed. A homeowner wants to give his mortgage holder a series of encrypted mortgage payments. These might be encrypted digital cash with different decryption dates so that one payment becomes decryptable and thus the other one by the bank at the beginning of each month or successive month. Okay? An individual wants to encrypt his diaries so that they are only decryptable after 50 years. Think about this. This is blockchain. They were developing blockchain in 1976. A key escrow scheme can be based on time release crypto, okay, so that the government can get the message keys, but only after a fixed period, say 1 year. There are also presumably many other applications. Use time lock puzzles, computation problems that can only be solved without running a computer continuously for at least a certain amount of time. Use trusted agents who promise not to reveal certain information until the specific date. Okay, using trusted agents had the obvious problem of ensuring that the agents are trustworthy. Secretly sharing the approach can be used to alleviate this concern. Using time lock puzzles has the problem that the CPU time required to solve the problem can depend on the amount of nature of hardware used to solve the problem. Bitcoin, as well as the parallelizing of the ability of computing problems has been solved. In the note, we explored both approaches. We note that Tim Mace has suggested an approach based on the use of trusted agents. So basically, they were working on cryptocurrency in 1996. So then we went through a big economic crash, housing crash. I want you to think about something and use your rational brain, okay? Now, who on earth within our government, within the financial sector and the banking sector, I was in banking, I was an executive banker, within the financial sector, allowed people to get interest-only loans on million-dollar homes without stated income? Who allowed that to happen? Why would they have allowed that to happen for so long? Who on earth within the banking system, if there's all these guards and rails and the OCC and things that protect us, right? Consumer Protection Financial Bureau, who on earth allowed that to happen? And why on earth, after that, was Bitcoin created in 2009? And why on earth now are your banks able to federally charter and custody cryptocurrency? Why does JP Morgan have their own cryptocurrency coin? Why have they created their own system to be able to build other cryptocurrencies off of? So you think that Bitcoin was just created for fraudsters? Why do we not know who Satoshi is? Why does nobody know, if you don't know this yet, Bitcoin was created by a person named Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. How crazy is that? The mysterious and pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto. The identity of the person who created the technology is still a mystery. Bitcoin offers the promise of lower transactions, fees, and traditional online payment mechanisms, and operated by a decentralized authority, unlike the government-issued currencies. So do you really think that this isn't created by the government? You have to decide that. Okay, so we talked about 1971, Klaus created the World Economic Forum. Okay, 1971, Nixon detached from the gold standard. 1996, they already started to create, so you saw the productivity, so the rich became richer and the poor became poorer. And now what they're doing is they're packaging it up into the Great Reset. Okay, this is Klaus right here, the World Economic Forum. They're packaging up this in this Great Reset in the Green Deal, which is going to take you to zero carbon in 2050. All the elites are moving to cryptocurrency and blockchain as you're looking this way as a pandemic, and we're going to have the biggest economic collapse in history, and we're going to have a great financial reset. And they're saying it's going to bring our world together, but it's going to create a higher division in between rich and poor. Amazon, Walmart, Facebook, the large corporations are going to become much wealthier, just like the 634 wealthiest people in the world became much richer during the pandemic than they did in history. So let's watch this video, and then I'm going to send you over to the Prince of Wales. It's about opening up your mind, warriors, and how you can invest in this new quantum financial system.
A tick shape. Can you just give us some clues about the growth down the track, what we can expect?
First, if you look at it at the national or global level, at the macroeconomic level, one of the things we address very much in the book and we are concerned is the increased debt level. We spend about 10 trillion worldwide to deal with the short-term negative effects of the pandemics. But we should be aware we are just increasing our debt situation. And we were already very much debt loaded before we went into the crisis. So how to get at the end out of this debt situation is still a big question mark. Second, we know that there's quite some impact on different industries. We know that certainly the health industry, the digital industry will go out of this crisis strengthened. But we know that many industries which rely particularly on physical interaction will have difficulties to survive.
Okay, so key. Okay, listen. 1971, he created the World Economic Forum. 1971, we detached from the gold standard. We became a debt-based society. Now he's explaining that we're trying to figure out how to get out of this debt crisis. He just told you that the healthcare industry, you got vaccines, you got the C word, you got all these companies that are going to prosper, Pfizer, all these companies. And he said technology companies are going to prosper, but anybody that does physical work is going to struggle. They're giving you the clues, warriors, of where you're heading.
Finally, I just would add, I think this is an opportunity again to find solutions which are beneficial for the next generation. So why not to tie government aid to the green economy which we have to create? Why not to make sure that we revolutionize, digitalize particularly our educational system? So we are here when we talk about...
So he just told you, why not? You are going to be going to school from home now. You're going to be operating on a blockchain. You're going to vote on a blockchain. The Green Deal is all about moving you to the quantum financial system. The meat and dairy industry is going to get crushed. The way you do business, mom and pop corporations, mom and pop businesses like mine are going to be obsolete. But we learned how to thrive through this, warriors.
Great Reset. To talk also about innovation. How can we do things differently from what we used to do? And if we speak about differently, it means also how can we do it to make sure that a majority of people are benefiting from it and not just a minority.
We started out at Davos this year talking about the environment, Greta Thunberg versus Donald Trump. Certainly a lot of headlines crossing from the mountain. But last time round in the crisis, we saw people didn't care so much about the environment when we were talking about large-scale job losses. This time seems different. Are you surprised about how strong the sustainability theme has been right through the pandemic?
No, I would see even a chance to accelerate, let's say, our transition into a green economy. Because people probably recognize that we have to become more resilient. We have now the experience of one crisis. The environmental crisis, the climate crisis could be a much bigger one.
So do you understand what he just said? Decoding what he just said. He said, because of the pandemic, It ushered in the Green Deal. People, she said right there, she said before the crisis, people weren't talking about, they weren't worried about the Green Initiative. The Game Changers documentary comes out September 2019. Now, all of a sudden, he says, well, now people, because you're locked down in your houses, all of a sudden you're concerned about the Green Initiative. Think about it, Warriors. Does that make sense to you? She said, last year, they weren't concerned about it. Now we are because we're locked down in our houses?
So I see more awareness, but on the other hand, we have the big issue of unemployment, of low levels of employment, and I think we shouldn't see the two as contradictory objectives.
Okay, so that's key. Now let me move you over to the elite family in the world, the royal family. I'll just remind you, the Great Reset. Watch this video.
We have an incredible opportunity to create entirely new sustainable industries, investing in nature as the true engine of our economy.
The current global crisis has disrupted every aspect of our lives, but it has also presented us with an extraordinary opportunity, a chance to reset and accelerate efforts to improve the state of our world.
Changing our current trajectory will require bold and imaginative action, together with determination and decisive leadership. In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model, putting people and planet at the heart of global value creation. If there is one critical lesson we have to learn from this crisis, we need to put nature at the heart of how we operate. We are on the verge of catalytic breakthroughs that will alter our view of what is possible and profitable within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act.
Oh, they show the fires, the C word. He said you need a paradigm shift. How do you shift someone's paradigm? Through fear, through inspired action. Do you feel inspired right now, Warriors, or do you feel fearful? Are you looking at a pandemic? That's how you shift someone's paradigm. You do it through tragedy or you do it through inspiration. As Tony Robbins says, you're either going to take action through inspiration or desperation. Do you think they're going to inspire you, these elites, to take action? Nope. But they will inspire you by stimulating out some stimulus checks for you and locking you down and making you think that the right idea is to move into this new quantum financial system. Now, Warriors, why am I even bringing this up? Because, Warriors, you're going to hear that the biggest shift in generational wealth is happening right now. And this is not to bring us together. This is to separate the wealth gap even more. You saw what happened in 1971 when we detached from the gold standard. And it's about to happen even more. And the new thing is going to be the technology sector. The biggest companies in the world are going to become much larger. And what's going to happen is your productivity isn't going to matter anymore because technology is going to take over. Now, why is there the biggest shift in generational wealth? Because people are moving from cash to assets like cryptocurrency, blockchains, that are going to shape and change the world, that are already shaping and changing the world. And your friends told you Bitcoin's a fraud when they already started creating the Bitcoin infrastructure in 1996. MIT was building the infrastructure in 1996, and they don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is? Think about that, Warriors. Use your rational brain right now. Let me spark you a little bit. Distrust everything I'm saying and start to do your own research. Predictive programming is real, Warriors. So we're here to help you. We're here to help you. If you made it this far, you're a true warrior. Down below is our free Facebook group. We go live every single day. There's hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel. We go live every single day. Free information. I have a podcast with 850 podcasts. But if you're ready to jump right into our Warrior Academy, or you want to donate to the cause, you click down below and you can join our Warrior Academy. We do a weekly Quantum Financial System call, showing you my exact portfolio, how I'm managing the quantum financial system. I'm not a financial advisor. None of it's financial advice. I show you my exact portfolio. We talk about the crypto market and how we're investing in it. We also work out with you live daily, nutrition, mindset coaching, and subconscious mind around programming, so you will not be predictive programmed anymore. It's about understanding which narrative you're believing, Warriors. So the time is now to activate, to protect your family, to protect your mind, and be part of the biggest shift in generational wealth. Warriors, rise! Everything's down in the description below.